You're in tune to the Paperflip Real Estate Podcast.
Home buyers, sellers, renters, and investors. I'm Lloyd for Real Estate. This is the Paperflip Podcast. Today's briefing covers the number of available listings in the Chicagoland area. The question to ask is there enough? My homes are on the market here in Chicago this June. You've probably seen the headlines, heard the buzz. Finally, a little breathing room for buyers, right? But hang on a second. It's just the flood of new homes we've been all hoping for, the sign that things are finally shifting, or is there something else going on that's just beneath the surface? About to give you the real unfiltered scoop from an agent who's out there every day, because what you think is happening with Chicago's housing inventory might not be the whole story. And the reality for June 2025 as well, it's pretty surprising. Right, let's kick things off with what got everyone feeling a bit optimistic, and rightly so. Yes, it's absolutely true. We're seeing more properties hitting the Chicago market. Nationally, the inventory has been creeping up. Back in April 2025, active listings across the U.S. jumped up by over 30% compared to last year. That's a pretty big deal. And right here in Chicago, the May 2025 data shows more homes for sale than the month before. That's 10,811 homes to be exact, which is a 13.6% bump from April. Cook County also saw a modest 1.76% year-over-year increase in new listings in May 2025. Now, the Illinois Realtors Association also reported that statewide inventory for April 2025 nudged up slightly, about 1.7% from the year before. Some experts like Dr. Lawrence Young from the National Association of Realtors are even saying we're likely seeing the worst of the inventory shortage. You should expect more homes to come on the market in 2025. A lot of this is just life happening. Families getting bigger, people moving for jobs, retiring, all those normal things that are finally nudging homeowners, even those sitting on the super low mortgage rates, to make a move. So on paper, there are more listings, definitely. Feels like we're taking a step in the right direction after years of seriously undersupplied market. But this is where I, as an agent who's in the thick of it with buyers and sellers every day, have to tap the brakes a bit. Is this increase, this more than we're all seeing, really the big breakthrough Chicago buyers have been waiting for? Is it enough to actually change who's in the driver's seat? Or are we maybe looking at something that's not quite what it seems? Because let's be honest, headlines and raw numbers don't always give you the full picture. They don't tell you what kind of homes are being available, where they are, and importantly, if they actually meeting the massive pent-up demand that's been brewing in this city for what feels like forever. Truth is, while seeing more for sale signs is a good thing, for a lot of buyers, the struggle is far from over. And some of the reasons might just surprise you. Let's peel back the layers on the inventory increase and see what's really going on in the Chicago area this June. I will make a few key points here. Here's point number one. Is it the right kind of inventory? First off, we got to ask, are these new listings the kind of homes most buyers are actually looking for? And are they in the price ranges where demand is craziest? What the research shows, and what I see day to day, is that this inventory bump isn't happening evenly across the board. Now, for instance, while overall inventory is up a bit, some parts of the market are still incredibly tight. Research points out that the Midwest, Chicago included, is still way behind other areas and get back to pre-pandemic inventory levels. We're talking down about 44% from what used to be normal. That's a huge gap to close. We are seeing some people looking at downtown Chicago again as more folks head back to the office and rents in some nearby suburbs keep going up. This might mean a small increase in downtown condo inventory. Report from June 5th, 2025 showed downtown Chicago single-family homes have about 2 months of inventory, and attached homes like condos and townhomes have around about 2.3 months of inventory. Now, inventory is welcome, but a balanced market is usually more like 6 to 7 months. So 2 to 2.3 months, well, that's still very much a seller's market, especially for the good places. Then there's the critical issue of affordable housing. We're simply not building enough entry-level homes, the very homes where most of the demand is. So if these new listings are mostly luxury properties or in areas that already have plenty of options, it doesn't really help the average first-time home buyer or the family trying to move up without emptying their savings. Now, nationally, only about 1 in 5 homes listed back in March were affordable for a household earning around $75,000 a year. That really puts things in perspective. Here's my second point. Demand isn't disappearing, it's actually evolving. Even with a few more listings popping up, buyer demand in Chicago is still surprisingly strong. Chicago is still seen as more affordable than many big coastal cities, and it keeps attracting buyers from out of state and keeps local demand pretty steady. Now think about it. For years, buyers have been on the sidelines just waiting. Any little dip in mortgage rates or even just the idea of having more choices can bring a fresh wave of these eager buyers back into the hunt. Now take Chicago's north side, for example. Data from May 2025 shows that even through new listings and the total number of homes for sale were down quite a bit compared to May 2024 by 16.9% and 21.8% respectively. Number of homes actually going under contract went up by 4%. This tells us that even with fewer new places hitting the market in those neighborhoods at that time, motivated buyers were still out there making deals. Now, median home prices in Chicago are still generally on the rise, though maybe a bit more slowly in most areas. For instance, as of early June 2025, the median sales price for an attached home in downtown Chicago was about $459,000, and for single-family homes, it hit a new record of $1.4 million. Zillow data through April 30th, 2025, shows the average Chicago home value at $309,000, up 2.1% over the past year, with homes going under contract in about 13 days. The Cook County home prices were up 7.8% in May 2025 compared to last year, with a median price of $372,000. Now, these are not signs of a market where demand is drying up because of too much inventory. It's still competitive out there. So here's point number 3, the affordability squeeze and interest rate roller coaster. This is a big one, isn't it? Now, most listings are fantastic, but if buyers can't afford them, then what's the point? Mortgage rates, while they bounced around, have stayed stubbornly high compared to those rock bottom rates that we saw during the pandemic. As of late May, early June 2025, average 30-year fixed mortgage rates hovering around under 7%, somewhere around 6.89%, up to 6.94%. This new normal for mortgage rates really changes how much house people can buy. For so many potential buyers, just saving up for a down payment and covering closing costs is a massive challenge, especially when the overall cost of housing is still so high. Home prices have been growing faster than incomes. So even if there are technically more homes out there, the number of homes that many people can actually afford might not have really jumped in the same way. And let's not forget, high rent costs make saving for that down payment incredibly tough. A report from May 2025 showed that while inventory is going up nationally, we still don't have a ton of homes that are affordable for folks with low or moderate incomes. Progress is happening, but if it's not everywhere, And the Midwest is seeing some gains, but not exactly game-changing ones. Here's my fourth point: seller expectations and the new construction factor. We gotta take a look at that. So are sellers of these new listings pricing them realistically? Honestly, it's a mixed bag. Some sellers get what's happening in the current market, but others might still be thinking about the peak prices from a year or two ago. An overpriced home, even when there isn't a lot to choose from, it'll just sit there. Buyers are more careful now. They have to be with these high mortgage payments. So what about new construction? Well, it's definitely helping to ease the pressure a bit, especially in neighborhoods getting a facelift like Logan Square and Bronzeville. We're seeing some big new residential projects, with some set to be finished in 2025 and 2026, offering a mix of luxury and more affordable units. For example, you have projects in Fulton Market that are expected to bring hundreds of new homes. However, Chicago's overall construction pipeline is actually expected to shrink, with multifamily completions predicted to drop by 40% in 2025 compared to 2024. This drop in new supply could make the market even tighter down the road, even if we see a temporary increase right now. Plus, higher construction costs and not much land in popular areas can also limit how much new supply actually hits the market. Developers are also saying that while they're looking for new opportunities, a lot of deals just don't make financial sense in the current climate. And while new construction is a part of the solution, it takes time. The homes being finished now were planned years ago. It's not a quick fix for the inventory shortage we're dealing with today. So what's the real unfiltered truth about Chicago's housing market this June 2025 with these extra listings? Is it all just smoke and mirrors? Well, no, that's a bit too negative. There are definitely more homes on the market than when things were at their tightest. That doesn't give people a bit of a mental boost, and for some, generally more options. The market is showing signs of getting back to something more normal after a crazy few years. Some reports even say national inventory is the highest it's been in 4 years, though demand has also cooled off a bit. But is it the game-changing flood that makes buying a home in Chicago suddenly easier or a whole lot more affordable for everyone? Absolutely not. There's more listing story needs a giant asterisk placed next to it. Here's the bottom line. Chicago is still a tough market for many buyers. We're still dealing with historically low inventory levels compared to what a balanced market looks like. While the needle is moving slowly. This bump in inventory, while good news, isn't big enough yet to really change the basic supply and demand issues in many key areas, especially for affordable and mid-price homes. Now, buyers, you probably find more homes to look at than you would have a year or two ago, but you still need to be ready for the competition, especially for well-priced homes in popular neighborhoods. Prices are, on average, still going up, even if they're not skyrocketing like before. And affordability, thanks to those sticky interest rates and current price levels, is still a major hurdle. We are now a long way from a buyer's market. For some parts of Chicago's north side, May 2025 had only about 2.2 months supply of inventory. That's a world away from the 6 to 7 months that signals a balanced market. For sellers, this means that while you might face a little more competition, a well-maintained, smartly priced home will still get plenty of attention. But the days of just picking any price and watching a bidding war unfold are mostly over for most properties. Pricing it right is absolutely the key. The Chicago housing market in June 2025, it's a bit complicated. It's a market of details, not sweeping statements, and more listings are a good sign, a step toward a healthier market, but it's just one piece of a very large, very complex puzzle. It's a glimmer of hope, not quite the floodlight we've been waiting for. What are you seeing out there in the Chicago market since you've been out looking, talking to my home buyers? Are you a buyer struggling to find the right place, or you're a seller trying to figure out these particular changes in the Chicago market? Really want to hear from your experiences. Do drop a comment below and let's chat about it. And if you're trying to make sense out of all this, whether you're looking to buy or sell in Chicago, having an agent who understands these deeper truths, not just the headlines, it does make all the difference in the world. Contact information is in the description. Please feel free to reach out. I'm here to give you the real story and help you navigate this always changing market. And don't forget to like this video if you found this perspective helpful, and subscribe for more unfiltered truths about the Chicago real estate scene. We're in this together. This has been Lloyd for Real Estate.